everyone. I'm Birdie.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to Because Of Course We Did, where we discuss life as a modern artist, the way people react to us and the things that we do, and occasionally talk about recovering from religious trauma, our own mental health journeys, and all sorts in between.
Today we're going to be getting into the weeds about niche.
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 You fucking niche.
Fucking niche.
That's like an insult.
That really does. Specialize or do it all. So, should you specialize or should you let your interests run wild?
That is the question, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's what we're talking about here today.
That's what I said.
That's exactly what I said. I feel like it is a big question that a lot of people ponder. Thus, why we're pondering it here today. I think that we all struggle with knowing, I feel like when you're creative, you have a lot of different niche interests. Mm. And I don't know, I kind of go back and forth a little bit because I feel like I'm not that great at staying in one interest. Yep. I might be a little bit ADHD, not overly, but a little bit. I don't know if that even, I don't know. I'm not a doctor once again.
You're not a doctor?
No, never have been. I know that's shocking, but I personally jump around from thing to thing. I have a lot of interests. But I feel like I lean a little bit sometimes where I feel like you do need to focus to some extent. Like if you want to be a master of something, you kind of need to. Why do you think that? Yeah. Because you like to master it, like you need to not diversify your interest too much. But then I'm also like, that's going to get really fucking boring if you don't. Like dull boy kind of a thing, you know? Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I'm also, in multiple minds about it. Like the only way you're going to achieve mastery of something is if you spend time on it and, keep doing it.
Yeah.
But if you, I think that sounds super boring to just do one thing over and over and over and over and over and over. However, you do have your whole life to do all of this stuff. Like there's no time limit. You don't have to do it before you turn 30 or 45 or whatever. Mm-hmm.
You got your whole life. So I don't know. It's just like, I feel like it depends on who you are as a person. Like people with autism have like an amazing ability to concentrate. And those of us who are very far away from autism don't have that benefit.
I would love to have some kind of hyperfixation, but I'll start doing a task and then I'll just get up and start doing something else. Yeah,
like people who talk about hyperfixation, like do not relate.
I would love to. That sounds pretty cool.
If I could sit here and focus for like hours, maybe I'd be great at this already, but no.
Yeah. No, I have way too many interests. I'm just always bouncing from thing to thing. I'm like, I should do this and then I should do this and then I should do this. And then it holds me back from completing anything.
Yeah, I suppose there's some kind of question of the hobby versus your work.
True.
Thing. Like, I like your hobbies can really enrich your art, your work and everything. But again, I do too many things. Like I have a print and textile art business and I combine them, but I'm also doing I'm doing sewing, I'm doing like construction, I'm doing quilting, I'm doing drawing and carving and printing and paper prints and fabric prints and all sorts. And they kind of all work together, but I guess that works too, because it kind of all works together. But then I also write and I love dancing and I love, I want to learn how to paint and be better at drawing. And there's different things that I want to do, but I also feel like I don't really have time to do. Like there's vague ones where I'm like, well, that's also a hard thing too, because you're like focusing on like, well, am I going to be able to make money off of this? Which is like, I have a huge problem with feeling like if it's not productive or moving me closer to a direction I want to go, it kind of feels useless, which I understand that it's not useless because things that enrich your life aren't useless, but as well as it can enrich your work, understanding new concepts and
that's true.
Various things. Like I want to do like media sort of something, like kind of like not paintings, but like maybe painting, but like things where it's like almost a collage-like thing. I think that sounds fun.
I've seen those on Instagram a lot lately, collages, and I'm like, that's so cool. I love that. And I've already done that for years in like Photoshop, like making digital collages, and I love them. But seeing like the physical media ones is so cool, especially the mixed media ones. Like Bon Iver's self-titled album, that's one of those.
Beautiful.
I wish I knew how to say the guy's name, Gregory Euclid. I don't know if that's how you say it, but his work is phenomenal, and it's a bunch of those, like it's painting, and it's like little statues and textures and mixture, and that's so cool.
Yeah, like I also like want to paint pottery, and like, I don't know if I want to throw pottery. I don't know where that disconnect is that for me, but I want to paint pottery, even though I don't really know how to paint. I don't know where that comes from. I just really love ceramics. I'm like, I want to make my own, at least in the pretty painting version. There's like a lot of things. Like I want to paint. I guess there's a lot of painting I want to do, but I also need to take a class because I have no idea what I'm doing because I want to paint murals.
Yeah, we're both learning, watching stuff about painting and stuff, and starting to dabble a bit. And I'm excited for that. And I really should commission another artist to make my album art, but now I've got it in my head like I should make my own album art.
You should do everything yourself?
I should do everything myself. I'm already writing the lyrics and composing the music and recording it, mixing and mastering, and then now I'll just make the album art and that'll be fine. I'll have someone else make the records.
Oh, wow. You're just going to let that one go?
Maybe.
Like tomorrow you'll be like, I ordered a record cutting machine. So maybe let it. I understand though, because like I want to do everything myself too, but I also recognize it's good to get help sometimes.
Yeah, I want to own the whole process, but also like it would be pretty cool to have some help sometimes.
Yeah. I suppose that is like talking about like I had a note about having too many ideas.
Yes.
Too many ideas, not enough time. Which is, it's interesting because I feel like I have too many ideas a lot of the time, but then I also feel like I have no ideas. I don't know where that comes from. Like I have a running list of things I want to do, and then I sit down, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what I want to do.
Not a clue. And I feel like I'll have too many ideas and then go to sit down to actually make something and then it's just gone. And then I have an existential crisis about like, do I ever have any ideas? And how do I turn an idea into a finished thing?
And like, why is it so hard to even remember that you do in fact have a list?
Yeah.
It's like I'm great at making lists and then losing them or forgetting I have them, or don't even look at my tabs on my phone browser.
Yeah, I have like I
don't know what's on there.
I have a seeds like list in my phone and it's full of stuff, and I just like I'll sit down to write something and I'm just like, blank page.
Even though you have a list of
ideas, yes.
Yeah.
And I've seen advice about that. It's like whenever you sit down to write, if you have like little flashes of inspiration that you've recorded, go there first. Unless you already have an idea when you're sitting down. Like I understand that. And we're watching this series where a guy shows how to paint different
grandmasters paintings. And
something that he keeps telling the students is to cover the canvas, get rid of that white canvas. That's the first thing you should do, is just like get something. It doesn't matter what, you can paint over it later. And I think I need to start doing that.
Like start writing words, any words, little thingamabobs. Isn't that a thing where they're like, if you're like painting, it's like to paint a fish or something, like do something, like get started making something, like painter's block. I do that a little bit when I'm trying to draw something new for like a lino cut or whatever. Like I'm like, I want to draw something new, but I'm struggling. And so I'll draw a house or some flowers because I know how to do that.
I always draw a house. Houses are great.
I always draw a house. It helps. Like, it's so strange because you're like trying to learn how to draw something new and it's really hard. And you're like, what, I can draw this. It's what is
strange. The fish of love songs or just like songs?
I don't know. I'm sure there are like things out there where people recommend like write a little thing about something in your room, like, or write a love song to your pillow or something real quick. It doesn't have to be good. And there's probably lots of exercises out there of things like that.
Yeah, I need to try those kinds of things because I'll sit down and I'll just be like, I need to make something great, and then I just Yeah,
that's probably your problem. You think you need to make something great right off the bat. When that's not always the case. I mean, I understand. It's like, it's really hard when you just like, I keep creating different like iterations of something and it keeps being not good. But then you hear about people like creating 25 different versions of the same painting or the same song or whatever. Obviously they weren't all great according to them.
That's specializing, really digging down into one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about like, I don't know. I feel like I am very much in two minds about sticking to a niche because you need to focus on your work to get better. You have to keep doing it. Like I'm trying to learn that about, because like my block prints, they only get better the more I draw. Like the more I draw, the more I carve, the better they get. But then I'm also producing garbage sometimes, but that's okay.
Yeah,
but I also
that's just part of the process.
Need to do other things so I don't end up hating it.
Yeah.
And I guess I suppose in some ways it's like good to be niche in something that you really care about, like focus on it and do it well, but don't
overdo it.
Stay just there because you can learn so much from different ways of doing things. I don't know. And then I wonder if some like great artists, a lot of them are well known for one thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean they just did one thing. Like Da Vinci's a great example because like the man I don't even know if he wanted to paint as much as he did.
He wanted to be an inventor, but is known for
very good at it.
But then you have Monet where he was just like sitting there painting the same scene over and over and over and in different lighting conditions. Like that's really digging down and specializing. But he didn't just like, there was the series, but then after he was done with those, he moved on to something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do think that as a creative person, you need to not limit yourself too much because that's kind of part of creativity, that you need to be learning and growing and expanding, but you also do need to focus if you want to get better. I think that's a hard,
and then to go along with that, your happiness, I feel like kind of depends on it. That something I'm learning with like CBT stuff is that something that can give you joy is a sense of mastery. And the only way to have a mastery is to like pick something and get a skill, really learn how to do that, practice and practice and practice and learn more about it and get those 10,000 hours in.
Yeah. And like you will feel good if you're really good at something, but being good at something doesn't necessarily mean that you are fulfilled and happy. Like
it's just one of the pieces.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like it's complicated because there's things where like I used to be a baker and I really liked baking and I was pretty good at it, but I never felt fully fulfilled. It felt like a limiting art form and I do still like it, but I feel like I did get pretty good at it, but it was just, I guess like, again, like if it's not for you, like if something isn't your thing, then
that's something too, is trying to figure out what your thing is.
Yeah. And I feel like, I suppose, especially if you niche down too hard into something you don't end up caring that much about, it was hard for me to start learning more and different creative skills because I had devoted so much time to being a good baker.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit difficult, and it was like a kind of a hard process for me to kind of abandon that because it was like, I feel like I identified so much with what I did for so long, and it feels almost wrong to move on from it. So it was a little bit of a process there, and I'm happy with the direction like my creative things are going now, but it's also curious as to see where that will go.
Yeah, what will come in your future, like things you haven't even discovered yet.
Yeah.
Or old things that you left behind, but you can come back to.
I guess I recommend the idea of not closing yourself off too hard, being open, because you don't know, you might end up enjoying things a lot more if you are open to trying things. But I guess it's all about that balance.
It's all about that balance. I feel like maybe the main takeaway is to try lots of things until you find the thing that lights you up, and then specialize in that.
Yeah, and also still be open to the fact that you are a person who is going to shift and change over time, and it's okay if you move on. Some people move on to their great work if it's like they finally discover, like I believe it was Grandma Moses, which people love example because she was so old when she started painting, but she did like needlework for a really long time. But the woman became famous for painting, and And I don't like, from what I heard, she never painted until she was like in her 80s or something, but she had been creative. She just hadn't done that. And it's like not being afraid to kind of move on from the thing. Like I was talking about with baking. It's like, well, I've done this for so long and I've spent so much time on it. Like maybe I shouldn't just quit, but it wasn't bringing me joy anymore.
It wasn't doing it for you. It wasn't lighting you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then you found something that did. Like you're always creating new stuff and you're like, look at this. I made this. Isn't that cool? I'm like,
there's
yes, that is
a lot more
cool.
scope for imagination. There is a ton in baking, but there's a limit on what people will be willing to try in baking. True. And I still love baking. Part of me is like, oh, maybe I'd go back to it partially someday. But like maybe
when we open up that cafe in our 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah. One of the many dreams. But like sewing and making block prints and everything is like, there's so much scope for imagination. There's so much room for creativity, and there's colors and textures and designs that make me excited. There's always different things to do. So it's cool.
Good to have other interests so that you don't get dull too. It gives you more chance to experience life.
Yeah. I don't think it's a good thing for people to, in anything, even if it's not creativity. I feel like, expanding your world, your interests, your experiences benefit you in a lot of ways.
Very true. It's
not like good to just like focus 100% on just one thing or the other, because you end up a bit dull and a bit, I feel like you might look up one day and realize you haven't done anything. You haven't really especially if you end up not loving the thing that you're doing anymore, and you don't have anywhere to go from there.
Yeah. And doing other things can give you a source of inspiration for your main thing. If you found something that lights you up and it still does, then the other things can give you some fuel for the fire. Like we've started birding. Yes, we're in our 30s.
How did you guess?
We got a couple of those Instagram binoculars and they're excellent. So we were out there peeping birds and it was great. And I was inspired. I was like, I should draw birds. But I haven't drawn in years.
So we'll get
since
there.
I was a kid. And so I started with circles and squares and triangles.
Yeah, those are the bases for drawing. So good progress.
So we did what we said that we would do in that one episode where we're like, let's go out to the woods and do some catching. We did that.
Ourselves.
And she drew a beautiful nature scene and I drew squares.
Beautiful squares and circles.
I colored the cubes though. So
yeah, creativity.
Yay. But there's things that I feel like I'm learning from these other things that are totally vibing my songs. Like, oh, that's an interesting idea that I could use for a song, and from this thing that I've learned from this other thing. Like I said with the painting, that is like cover the canvas, like get some words down. It doesn't matter what the words are; they can be changed later. And I think that's something that I had struggled with, was like once the words are down, they're concrete. Like those can't be changed when that's not true at all. Yeah. Like I remember Tom York talking about it. It was like some songs come in minutes and then other songs come within months, where you're just kind of moving vowels, sounds around.
It's weird how like a certain word or something can like completely change and like unlock a thing that you're writing. I find that a very odd thing. I mean, I think it happens in a lot of art forms, that like you change the color of this one thing or you change this one line or whatever. And finally it's like, oh, okay. Maybe it's not the one thing. Maybe it's all going to go a different direction, but that direction is better than the direction you were going.
Yeah. And that is a very satisfying moment whenever it all just kind of clicks into place and like, that's it. I'm done. I'm finally done.
That's a beautiful thing about a thesaurus. When you're writing stuff. I love a thesaurus.
Big fan of the Rogers thesaurus.
That's a big recommendation, that if you're struggling and you think that your writing is really boring and you're not getting anywhere, try a thesaurus, because there may be a much better word out there or what you're trying to say than the ones that you can think of off the top of your head. I use it all the time.
Mean more what you're trying to say.
Yeah, like it's actually the word that you were really looking for, not just the word that's the most common.
Yeah, and really enlivens whatever it is. It's like instead of walking, crawling, or sprinting, or sauntering, or
stumbling.
moseying. Yeah, like that's way better.
Yeah. It's much more descriptive. It's much more captivating. Like, again, like, you know, even with painting, like a color or something that's like, that may not be what was expected, but it really kind of pulls it all into the feeling and the emotion you wanted it to have.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes like as I'm making like bags where it's like, I don't know, will this color go with these? And I put it with it. And I'm like, oh yes. Oh yes. I did that recently with creating a bag where it was a baby blue and I decided to add red quilting stitches. And I was just like, I really like this. I didn't really expect to like this, but I really like it.
I'm sad that you sold both of those.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make more. I'm kind of obsessed. This is going to be my thing.
It could be the thing that lights you up for a while and you specialize in it for a minute.
Yeah. I feel like there is a lot of advice out there about how to do things or not to do things. But honestly, again, like you got to do what works for you. And if obsessively creating works for you, then great. But if it doesn't, you're perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with you if you're jumping around. Like I'm currently running a business, I suppose, with my self-confidence very high. I'm running a business and I'm not that great at being like super obsessed with the thing I'm doing. Like I'm always like interested in this and that, wanting to create a different thing. And, you know, I think that can work too. It doesn't have to just be like, you know, stuck in one thing or the other.
That's true.
As I'm just saying is like, you know, I feel like I've felt before in my life very like, well, if I'm not doing it right, then it's wrong. And I can never do it, whatever it is, unless it's right. And I've seen a lot of advice where people say that you do need to keep very tightly to a niche. And I guess I just don't agree.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I mean,
I do think that, you know, like you said, if you want to master a skill, then you need to commit time to it. But you also don't have to commit all your time to it. And you don't even have to continue doing that thing for the rest of your life. You can. Yeah.
And like you said, like you'd have a whole life to live. Like, so I'm trying to learn about different interests and hobbies as well, that it's like, I don't have to become an expert on it right now. Like this can be an interest for all of my life. And I can, when I'm old, be a master gardener or something just because of the years and years of I cannot say that word. Cumulative words, man. Years of effort of learning little bits over time. And it's like, I feel like if I previously was like, I have to know it all now, or it's like, what's the point of even trying it? So then I don't do anything because it's too much. It's just too much, isn't it?
Yep. And that's what I'm doing. And that's something that I struggle with is the procrastinating, where like I feel like I need to know all these things. And so I end up, you know, always doing courses and trying out experiments and never actually finishing anything. But I know about this obscure technique. Like, okay, use it.
I feel like I often am the opposite, where I'm just like, I'll learn as needed, which I'm not sure if it's great either, but here I am and I'm learning as needed.
I feel like finishing things, even if they're not as good as they could have been, is way better than having a lot of experiments and like lots of experience and nothing to show for it.
Yeah, I feel like...
But here I am.
Yeah, I feel like my philosophy is the next one will be better. Not that I don't wake myself up in the middle of the night, wrecked with anxiety that things I have made and sold aren't good enough. Not saying I'm free of that, but I also it's okay. You know, stuff will be better. People will be like, look at this garbage that she made previously, but isn't that cool that we all start somewhere? Hopefully when I am a great success.
Yeah. And maybe I'll finish something.
Yeah.
That would be great to finish something.
Yeah. We could probably both learn a little bit from each other.
I think so.
And I could probably do a bit more studying. You could probably do a little bit more, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do the thing. I'm always trying to figure shit out without any instruction. That's probably trauma from my childhood, but you know, what can you do? And sometimes it goes well and sometimes it really doesn't.
But isn't that beautiful though? Because you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen.
We're going to find out.
You do find out. And sometimes it's awesome. And sometimes it hurts.
The mantra that floats around in my head is, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. That's basically my life though. I have freaking clue, but I'm doing it anyway. Here we go.
Yeah, there it is. But what Wendell Berry has to say about this is you can't know where life will take you, but you can commit to a direction.
Absolutely. I suppose that makes sense as well. Like maybe you don't need to niche it down too hard, but pick a direction for your work. I feel like that really does. Like we could have just asked him.
He's been doing this a lot longer. He has been.
Yeah, like pick a direction for the things that you care about, the things that make you excited, then follow that wherever it goes.
Yep, job's good.
Get good at it.
Get good at it. Put your hours in.
Yeah, and don't get discouraged because it takes time. Everything takes time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, like subscribe or something. Like
whatever those things are. I don't know. This goes out on everything.
So. On things that say good, please. Yes. Love ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching, listening.